Hi everyone, it's Trish. I'm the Vice President here at Produce for Kids, and you've probably seen my boys, 14-year-old Christopher and 10-year-old Matthew, on a lot of our social channels and in some of our content that we share. And I wanted to hop online right now and see how everyone's doing and check in. Yesterday, I got a text from a friend and it simply said, "Hi, how are you?" And I was so thankful for that text. And so I'm here today to ask the same question. Hi, how are you? I hope you're well. I hope everyone is dealing with this crazy situation the best that you can. I hope that everyone is happy and healthy, and if not, know that that's okay as well. We at Produce for Kids have been working really hard the past week and pulling a lot of content for you guys to help you through this crazy time. There's a lot of content currently on our website, but we are also working to build some additional content, so you'll see that coming down the pike in the next week or so. I wanted to make sure that you were aware of some of this content that we have. A lot of people are charting into new waters that they're not used to, and so if you haven't already, please feel free to go onto our website and browse some of the blog posts and some of the recipes and some of the information we have on there. Hopefully you'd be able to find some tips or resources that will help you. A couple I want to highlight, in my county here in Pennsylvania, we are at a stay-at-home order. The restaurants are all closed except for takeout or delivery. And so we've been relying a lot on meals, home-cooked meals. It's definitely different because we're now making 3 meals a day. Normally I just make, dinner. The boys usually eat breakfast and lunch. Either they make it themselves or they are eating that at school. And so it's odd now to be making 3 meals a day for 4 people. My husband and the boys have been helping out, but know that we've got content on Produce for Kids, easy dinners, make ahead dinners, one sheet dinners or one pot dinners, which are my absolute favorite. Ways to incorporate frozen food or incorporate pantry staples into your meals, because I know that we've all stocked up ahead of time. So how do we incorporate a little bit of fresh, a little bit of frozen, a little bit of prepared, all together to make healthy meals for our families that will last? We also have a ton of activities about getting kids active and getting them involved in the kitchen. I know that sometimes having little ones in the kitchen can be frustrating, but at this time, what else are they going to be doing? They're certainly welcomed to kind of learn and explore in the kitchen. We also have different content about how to jumpstart dinner time conversations. I do feel like the 4 of us have talked about everything that we could possibly talk about the past 2 weeks. So there's a bunch of, dinner time starter conversations on our site. Indoor activities that kids can do. Getting kids to unplug and play and use their imagination. That kind of content you can find on produceforkids.com. I know that there's a lot of people who don't cook and who don't enjoy cooking, who don't normally cook. And now, again, we are being, kind of forced to get in the kitchen a little bit more than what we usually do. So we do have a podcast episode, Cooking Basics and Kitchen Fundamentals. We have a couple other podcasts and blog posts about meal planning for beginners and, what to do in the kitchen if you're not comfortable in the kitchen. So I definitely recommend looking at some of that content. We also, I don't know about you, but I feel like I've cleaned my house up and down 4 times already this week. We've got tons of spring cleaning tips and ideas and organization plans and all kinds of stuff like that if you're taking this time to do some spring cleaning and organizing. Speaking of spring, this would be a great time to get out and start a garden or start a compost or just be outside and have some spring picnics and enjoy the weather as much as you can. We've got some ideas on our website and on our blog posts about that. We also have a ton of content and several episodes of our Healthy Family Project podcast talking about mental health and, making sure that we're trying to be centered and have as least amount of anxiety as possible during this crazy time. So definitely check out our podcast. There's a lot of episodes, not only with food topics, but also with mental health topics as well. Finally, I want to make sure that I let you guys know that we will have a new podcast breaking on Friday. We have reached out to our resident pediatrician who we turn to all the time for tips and advice on several different topics. And on Friday, she's going to talk a lot about how to cope and manage with the anxiety that these circumstances and COVID-19 is kind of bringing to the forefront. We know that we have families who are experiencing a various different emotions and different anxiety through this time. We know we have little ones who are missing their friends and their teachers. We know we have older ones who are pretty disappointed that they might be missing that, track meet that they were really hoping to go to, or that field trip that they had been looking forward to since they were in first grade, or the prom that they had already gotten their dress up for, or graduation. We really want to talk about how to manage those emotions because they're real and they're okay. And Dr. Stephanie is really going to help us with that. So thank you for being loyal followers of Produce for Kids. We hope that some of the content that we're going to be sharing with you is helpful. If you have any questions or suggestions, or you have content, please share it with us, and we would love to get as many resources as possible out there. Be well, and hopefully in a couple weeks we will be out of this situation and we will all be able to enjoy the summer together. Take care.